Now let's start today's China currents. Last week, Chinese scientists announced a breakthrough in next-generation battery technology that could extend the range of electric vehicles to 1,000 kilometers on a single charge. This means one full charge could take an EV farther than most gasoline cars can go on a full tank, typically 600 to 800 kilometers. In practical terms, that's enough to drive from Beijing to Shanghai, Paris to Milan, or even make a round trip between Los Angeles and San Francisco without recharging. Once put into mass production, these advances could eliminate range anxiety entirely and pave the way for the eventual end of the gasoline era. The breakthrough centers on solid-state batteries, which differ from the liquid lithium-ion batteries used in most EVs today. Solid-state batteries are more resistant to deformation, store more energy, and are far safer. However, they have long remained in the laboratory stage. The bottleneck lies at the interface between the solid electrode and solid electrolyte, which is microscopically uneven. While applying mechanical pressure can improve contact, the interface tends to crack after several charge-discharge cycles. This time, Chinese scientists invented an iodine-based glue that automatically fills those microscopic gaps during operation, increasing the interface bonding efficiency to 90%. The team also improved flexibility and safety. A polymer framework gives the electrolyte a flexible skeleton that can bend 20,000 times without breaking. A 20-nanometer protective coating on the electrode surface prevents explosions even under full charge, resisting punctures and temperature up to 120 degrees Celsius, while conventional batteries may fail at 80 degrees. Together, these three innovations dramatically enhance the practicality of solid-state batteries. If brought to market, they could erase the last advantages of gasoline cars and open the doors to new possibilities such as low-altitude aircraft and wearable medical devices. While China's new generation of scientists is making waves, an earlier generation is gradually leaving the stage. Last week, Professor Yang Chen-Ning, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, passed away in Beijing at the age of 103, prompting widespread mourning across China. Yang was perhaps the most renowned Chinese scientist of the 20th century, not only for his discoveries, but also for bridging China and the US and for embodying China's journey from weakness to strength. Born in 1922 during the warlord era, Yang grew up amid chaos and poverty. He came of age during China's anti-Japanese war, completed his studies, and in 1945 went to the US for graduate research, while China descended into chaos in the Civil War. After the founding of People's Republic in 1949, Yang stayed in the US, a decision that drew criticism domestically, but in 1957, he and Tongtao Li proposed the theory of parity non-conservation, earning the Nobel Prize and rekindling national pride. During the Cold War, a Sino-US relations thawed. Yang returned to China several times, helping to raise tension and encourage scientific exchange. He then lectured in China and raised funds to send Chinese scholars abroad after the reform and opening era began. In the 21st century, Yang renounced his US citizenship to become a Chinese citizen again, joining Tsinghua University as a professor. He remained intellectually sharp into old age. Yang once said that his greatest contribution was helping Chinese people shed the feeling of inferiority. In 2011, he warned the US often underestimates China's potential and that such underestimation could fuel future conflict. Our next story, the man taking on Trump-era trade politics head-on, Apple CEO Tim Cook. On October 13th, Cook made an unannounced appearance in Douyin livestream at Apple's flagship store, greeting Chinese viewers and helping promote Apple products. It was his first ever livestream in China, and Tim Cook goes live on Douyin quickly became a trending topic across Chinese social media. During the livestream, Cook announced that the iPhone Air would officially launch in China the following week, with pre-orders starting October 17th. Holding up the new device, he joked, "It's so light that it might fly away." The ultra-thin model was unveiled at Apple's September keynote and was originally scheduled for global release on September 19th. However, the delayed rollout of eSIM services in China meant the Chinese launch couldn't coincide with the global one, something that disappointed many local consumers. In recent years, as Huawei, Xiaomi, and Oppo have surged into high-end market, Apple's dominance has waned. In Q4 2024, iPhone sales in China fell from first to fourth place, and Apple's Greater China revenue declined 11.1% year-on-year in Q1 2025. Cook's decision to go on livestream was widely seen as a bid to rebuild confidence in the Chinese market. At one point, the livestream drew over 100,000 concurrent viewers, showing the warmth of China's consumers toward Apple's longtime CEO, even amid geopolitical chill. Meanwhile, New Zealand is turning to China's shipbuilders for help with a long-stalled ferry project. Last week, the government confirmed it had chosen a Chinese shipyard, Guangzhou Shipyard International, to take over the troubled ferry order that South Korea's Hyundai had delayed for years. Transport Minister Winston Peters said the move could save taxpayers $1 billion New Zealand dollars. The two ferries, each 200 meters long, carrying 1,500 passengers and 40 rail cars, are slated for delivery by 2029 to connect New Zealand's North and South Islands. The project, known as IREX, began in 2018 but was plagued by cost overruns. The per-ship cost rose from 775 million New Zealand dollars in 2018 to $1.45 billion in 2021, with total spending ballooning to 4 billion New Zealand dollars by 2023. The government cancelled the Korean contract and turned to China. When asked about security concerns, Peters described GSI as a shipbuilder with competence, capability, and capacity, and added with a hint of humor that he believed that Chinese understood national security concerns and were not naive. Notably, GSI is on the US government's blacklist of Chinese military-linked firms, meaning American investors are barred from financing it. And finally, let's turn to a new frontier and a new headache on China's smartphone screens. As AI innovation surges, AI-related fraud has become a major regulatory challenge. Beijing recently reported its first case of AI-generated false advertising. A food company had used deepfake and voice synthesis technology to impersonate a top national news anchor, creating fake promotional videos. The anchor's real program reached 189 million daily viewers, giving a fake enormous impact before it was taken down. Chinese authorities swiftly intervened, fined the company, and issued a public clarification. Beyond AI, another entertainment revolution is sweeping Chinese screens: microdramas. Last week, Hunan province opened China's first dedicated microdrama film base, with 14 productions starting on the opening day alone. These ultra-short series, designed for quick viewing, feature episodes under 15 minutes with 20 to 90 plus episodes per series and fast-twisting plots that often require payment to unlock. According to recent data, China's microdrama audience reached 662 million by the end of 2024. Viewers spend an average of 101 minutes per day, and 76.9% are willing to pay for content. The total market value hit 50.4 billion Chinese yuan, surpassing the year's domestic box office total. The new base, humorously named Vertical Town, Shudian, stands in contrast to China's well-known Horizontal Town, Hengdian, a playful linguistic pair that mirrors the film industry's transformation from horizontal screens to vertical ones. And that's all for today. See you next time on China Currents.